Christian Ballard here at 92.1 WKR in Fun, and we'll send you to Rich Jets.
What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard Sports Media. Good morning. Happy Friday to everybody. Episode 5 of the BSM Wake Up Call. And we are going to talk a little bit about baseball today. We want to look at the standings again. Just a disclaimer. I had, before we get into our topic of conversation here in the first hour, I was talking with my grandmother this week about some of this stuff. Still working to pursue a career in journalism, sports journalism. Still plan on going to UAB and everything. But I think it's clear that I need to focus on one major sport. And I think it's always been college football for me. That's why we talk college football 99.9% of the time. It used to be half the time. I used to be into like NBA and stuff. And I guess I still am. But I don't know, it just doesn't interest me as much. It just doesn't. Let me take this one off the screen here. Let me get rid of the overlay. Get rid of the overlay here. Let me see. There we go. So, there's that. I mean, I love baseball. I love the Braves. I like basketball and March Madness. And we'll get to March Madness and everything next year and in 10 months and everything like that. Or 10 months? What are we in? We're in July. Uh 8 months. So we'll get to it. We will. I want to I I've always been a college guy. I love the NFL though. We love college football primarily. Baseball I love to watch. But it is so hard to keep up with, and I never know what to talk about with it, other than just looking at standings. Speaking of, I could pull this up real quick. I am curious to see where the standings are in the MLB right now. Where are the Braves? Last time I checked, the Phillies were at the top, and they still are. No one's catching up to them. 61 and 32. 61 and 32 Phillies. 57 and 35, 62 percentage, the Cleveland Guardians. I almost said Indians, but we got to be correct these days. We can't keep living in the past, right? Oh, let me do something else real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me go. Okay. So, looking at the standings, you have the Guardians at 57 and 35. The Orioles, really good program today and have been for a little while. 57 and 36. The Yankees, they have kind of fallen off. They really have. I would love a battle for the World Series in October. I would love two historic franchises with the Phillies and the Yankees. I think that would be amazing. And I think you could get it. I think definitely these teams will push for the postseason. But be careful of the Orioles of teams like Milwaukee out there, of the Twins, of the Red Sox, of the Braves. You guys know, working at the station I work at, we cover the Braves, carry them and everything. So I pull for the Braves, and I've been to a Braves game the past 2 years, in August. We'll be going back this year, and matter of fact, they play the Phillies when we go. So how about that? How about that? Move this over just a little bit. Um, who else? Tampa Bay Rays, the team I still pull for them. Not as much. I'm not as heavy on them as the Braves right now, but they're 46 and 47, and that is disappointing because it wasn't too long ago when Blake Snell and everybody were so good. Charlie Morton. I mean, was it Charlie Morton? Charlie something. Anyway, the Rays are a good franchise. They're just you've caught them on a down year, and they need a better second half of this 2024 season. They need a better second half, right? The Astros are above 500, but just barely. They're 49 and 44. St. Louis 48, 44. The Mets 47 and 45. Arizona, believe it or not, this is crazy. Arizona is the lone right at 500 team, 47 and 47. 500 means you have the same wins and the same losses, right? That's what that means in case anyone's curious. We are live right now, but thank you for watching this back. Episode 5 of the BSM Wake Up Call. We do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings here at Ballard Sports Media. And the reason I started it up was because you kind of have to build that kind of discipline because you never know when you land a job in this business. If you do get a show, you don't know what time slot you'll be given at CBS Sports or ESPN or whatever, right? You just never know. So I wanted to start something up. And we usually try to run till 8 Eastern when Uncle Lou goes live. Georgia fan, you guys probably know the name if you're a true diehard college football fan like me. So yeah, teams I like right now in baseball. I love the Phillies doing really, really good. I'm happy to see that. I would pick them and maybe the Orioles for a World Series matchup. I think it'd be cool to have them and the Yankees. That's probably a dream scenario. I wanna see the Phillies do it because they came so close and fell up short a couple years ago against the Astros, believe it was. Uh, Bryce Harper's killing it. Uh, and he got hurt earlier, and even without him, they were still doing pretty good. They got the guys. But, like, I guess I wanna see the Phillies because, my grandfather, who I love dearly and have much respect for, I mean, he's that guy in my life, right? Look up to and everything. He's a Phillies guy, and I'd love to see it happen for his sake, like, win a World Series. And they have before. I think it 2008 was the last time, so it hasn't been too long, but, like, it's been almost 2 decades. Almost 2 decades. Got a few people watching, haven't seen anyone in the chat yet. Love and appreciate you guys. Who else? The Red Sox, that's kind of my Nana's team. That or the Pirates. The Pirates have never in my lifetime, never been too good to my knowledge. They're not terrible. They're just I mean, there's a 3-game difference between wins and losses for them right now. There is a 3-game difference. and there's still time for them to turn around. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs or postseason. They could if they could have an above 500 year, I think they're on track. You know, when you look at the Pirates, um, you talk about uh, where was I? I mean, they're 3rd in the Central Division in the National League. But that's a tough division because they gotta put up with the Brewers and the Cardinals. Love that the Cardinals are doing great, always love the Brewers, always love I love the Central Division because it's tough. It's not like when they play each other, they have a scrub schedule and they're playing scrub teams. It's not like that. You have talented guys on that on each roster. You really do. Especially when it comes to the batting percentage and everything. Brian Reynolds, 17 home runs this year for the Pirates, 56 RBIs, 277. It's top 45, top 50 in batting average. They won their last game 1-0. It wasn't really offensive, but it was still pretty good to get a win. And even though they're on a win streak of 1, it's interesting to me that here in July, the Pirates have a couple wins. They beat the Mets twice. And by the way, it's like this. So 14-2 on July 5th, the Pirates won against the Mets. The following day on Saturday, July 6th, I got back from the beach that day. The Mets won 5-2. Then they won on Sunday 3-2. But then on Monday, Pirates tie that series up 8-2. Ain't that something? I want to look at this 14-2 game. What happened here? Don't worry, we're going to talk about college football 25 and everything. We wanted to talk some baseball this morning. I got to see how the Pirates ended up with 14 runs. I So you had 14 runs. You had 3 from Reynolds, 3 from Palacios, 1 from Cruz, 1 from Tellez, or 2 from him. Sawinski had 1. Grandal had 2, and Taylor, the center fielder, had 2. Uh, any home runs here? Reynolds. That's Brian Reynolds. Anyway, the Pirates did good in that Mets game on July 5th, which is good. 7 strong innings for Paul Skeens. A franchise record was tied. It had already been set, and I'm not sure. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know when it was set, but they tied the record in that Mets game with 7 homers. That's awesome. I love it. Anyway, that's baseball for you this morning on the Wake Up Show. Uh, yeah, I think, are the Braves, though, are they catching up? That's what we wanted to talk about a little bit. They're in a pretty good position right now, 51-41, 10 games up. They got to play the Padres tonight. They play them tomorrow at 6:15, 7:15 Eastern. They play them on Sunday. Then they got a series with the Cardinals. That's gonna be tough. Both of these next series are gonna be tough. So here's their next I'm gonna give you the rest of this month. They have 5 teams to deal with. And then, that last team kinda leads into August, I think. Um, so I got the Padres, 49 and 47 right now. Cardinals, 48-44 right now. Reds, 45-49 should be no problem, but you never know. That's one team below 500. The Mets, 47 and 45. The Brewers, 54 and 40, one of the best, probably the best in the NL right now. We were just looking at that. That's 5 teams in July remaining, and we're halfway through this month. Of those teams, they probably have the best shot against the Reds to win all 3 games. I would say the Cardinals are tough. You probably split the series. Um, maybe well, it's 3 games, so it'd be best 2 out of 3. I don't know if you split it necessarily. You have 3 games with the Padres, best 2 of 3 there. Starts tonight at 9:40. Mm, the Reds is 3 games. The Mets is 4 games. You could probably split or go 3 and 1 if you're the Braves. That's what you hope for. You never wanna have a series if you're a really good team like the Braves or the Mets or, the Dodgers or whoever out there, right? You never want to be on the bottom end of a series. You want to either split or you wanna win 3 games. Let's assume it's always in fours, right? You either wanna split the series in baseball or you want to win 3 out of the 4 and just drop 1. Or if you're good enough, against a really good team, maybe you take a shot and win all 4 games. I love that baseball is in series. I don't know what it is, but I love it. It makes it easier too. It really does. Anyway, uh, I don't know. This is weird because I wanna keep talking some baseball, but I know we gotta move on. I wanna keep talking baseball. I love baseball. I really do. I played growing up, and we used to be out on that field, man. I played T-ball to start. I was, like, 6 or 7 years old. All I wanted to do I drew on papers in school and stuff, so I decided to draw in the dirt in T-ball. But then I got to Little League a few years later, and I'm like, "Okay, this time just focus on the game, learn the game a little bit," right? And so we're out there, and I'm just trying to learn the game. And I did. Not completely. There's a lot I probably don't know right now, honestly. I'm just, sharing that being open. Best I ever hit was a double. And then I hit a single one time and coaches just said, run it all the way, run it all the way. So I don't know. I love baseball. We got a few people watching this morning, still haven't seen any comments. That's okay. No big deal there. I will drop the StreamYard link in case anyone at any point wants to join the show. If you want to join the show, that is completely fine at any point, and it is up to you, the people of YouTube and Facebook at Ballard Sports Media. We ain't going anywhere anytime soon, by the way. We're gonna keep growing here on YouTube and everything. So yeah, that wraps up baseball this morning. I wanted to do maybe a whole hour on baseball, but I kinda I don't know, I just it's I don't know. I didn't really write out much for baseball. I have a few notes I kinda went off of, but I really focus in on notes because of the main topic that we wanna talk about, which we'll get to. The suspense is building to talk about the teams you would rebuild in college football 25, or the teams that I would build, or what should you rebuild? If I were to advise you, and we'll talk more about it. If I were to advise you of teams that say, "Hey, this is a good team to rebuild," who would they be? We'll talk about it a little later on. Uh, Rest in peace to Monte Kiffin, former defensive coordinator for the Buccaneers. Legendary guy. He he kinda invented Tampa 2 defense, which is like a cover or man. Is it cover? I think it's like zone coverage. He kinda anyway, he passed away yesterday, age 84. Ole Miss announced it. More than 50 years coaching in college and NFL. He's been an analyst for Ole Miss since 2020. Lane Kiffin, you know the name. Used to be FAU's head coach, Alabama offensive coordinator for 2 or 3 years. Current Ole Miss head coach doing really good job there. Probably gonna get his team to the playoffs and everything. Yeah, uh, Monte Kiffin is Lane's dad. Yeah. And I had heard the name a little bit, and he used to be with my Bucks, and that's really where I knew him from. Um, but outside of that, never really knew him. My thoughts and prayers go out to the Kiffin family, though, because I love Lane. I think a lot of people love Lane Kiffin, unless you're probably like a Tennessee fan or something. But I don't care who you are, man. It's tough to lose a parent. I have not experienced that. I got both my mom and dad still to this day, and I love them dearly. But I know it can be tough to. It doesn't even have to be a parent. It just sucks to lose anybody. And let me put it to you this way as a believer. Best thing you hope for is that you can be a good influence for God throughout their lifetime. You can't make the decision for them, but you hope that they end up on the right side of eternity. It's a free will choice, but at the same time, you got to be that influence. I don't know how Lane Kiffin was raised by Monte. I don't know Lane's religious background, and I really don't care. Lane Kiffin is a pretty good guy, at least what it seems. I would love that's one of the coaches on my list to man, I hope I get to sit down and have a conversation with him. So my thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family, for this tragic loss today. Passed away yesterday. More than 5 decades coaching. That's like half a century right there for Monte Kiffin. It's incredible. It's incredible. That's almost like Joe Paterno numbers right there, 50 years, I think. He was at Penn State for a long time up until he passed back in 2012. Mhm. Joe Pa was there for a long time. Joe Pa was there. So, um, yeah. Dang. He's 84. Monte Kiffin was born in 1940. 2024. He passed sadly yesterday. Um, Ole Miss put this out on Twitter. Ole Miss football said Monte Kiffin, 84, peacefully passed away today. This was yesterday. Passed away today in Oxford, surrounded by family and friends. As his grandson Knox said, he's free of pain and smiling down on us from above. Please keep the Kiffin family in your thoughts and prayers during this time. Yeah, we would definitely will. He was with the Bucks for a while, like 12, 13 years. Uh, helped invent Tampa 2 coverage. 25 years in the NFL. He was also with the following teams. I'm reading this from ESPN: Minnesota Vikings, New Orleans Saints, Dallas Cowboys. In March, he was honored by the Pro Football Hall of Fame through its Awards for Excellence program. Yeah, he's got a lot of accolades and stuff. So anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on this subject, but again, my thoughts and prayers go out to the Kiffin family. Is this tough to lose a loved one? Yeah. Okay. What are we gonna do? Okay. Let's take a quick break from the show. We're almost 30 minutes into it. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side and we're going to talk about the teams that Ballard Sports Media, and I still don't know if I'm getting the game. I got to save up a lot of money for stuff right now, like the Slavs cruise and everything. Um, but I definitely want down the road to get a gaming system because College Football 25 is going to be awesome. I know it. I just know it, and I miss playing those games and stuff. But if I did Dynasty mode, who would I rebuild? There are rules and regulations. We'll be right back after the break. Don't go anywhere. Love you guys. Let's get back to it, folks. Definitely a good show so far. I've been keeping an eye on the comment section. Again, still doesn't look like anyone's showing up in the comments, but that's all right. We're still here. We're gonna keep going. Um, yeah. I love doing this. It helps build some discipline to just get up and give you purpose in the morning, right? Doing this show. I got purpose to get up every day. I got a job, right? Looking forward to school starting back. I've taken the summer off. I had to drop my I had to drop 2 classes last year. Had to drop 2 classes last year. Hopefully, I don't have to do that this year. I think I picked pretty good classes. I'm taking physical science, New Testament survey, and a computer class. That's a pretty good mix right there. I take those 3. If I pass them good enough, graduate in December. I don't know when I'm gonna transfer. I could pretty much, like, at least what based on conversations with my mother, I'm almost ready. UAB, here I come. I don't know when I'm going, but, well, it'll be soon for sure. I would say second hour of the show, we're only, like, 37 minutes in, which isn't bad, but, um, I don't know. I'm still learning all this. I do have notes. I have plans. I always have it planned out for this show in terms of how I wanna go about it. I don't wanna take too long of a break because I know you guys are expecting me. You wanna hear more from me, right? You wanna hear more sports talk. So we don't take too long of a break. I just took maybe 2 minutes, right, to relax, get a breather, and just whatever, whatever. Just relax. It's good. It's good. We're gonna clip this next segment and we're gonna upload it. I think it'd be pretty good for the channel. I really do. Okay. We are 1 week away as we are live here on July 12th, 2024. 1 week away. This next Friday, NCAA, no, EA Sports College Football. That's a better name. 25 being released in stores everywhere, online everywhere. PS5, Xbox One S, whatever. Do they have a Wii anymore? Even if they did, you probably couldn't get the game on there or Nintendo or anything. I miss the Wii. I miss those days. That was my gaming system growing up, man. The Wii, holy cow. But we talk about this video game. I grew up playing NCAA football. I got 10, 11, 12, 13. I never got 14. I never got that one. I know that's the popular one. You're probably listening to this and you're on NCAA 14 revamped right now, aren't you? Aren't you? Yes. Yes, you are. But what about College Football 25? If I were to get the video game and I'm saving my money up for like this cruise in March and everything like that, but I want to save up for a gaming system and everything. And I eventually down the road, it might be a few years, I do want to give this game a shot, right? But you ask yourself, what are the teams that Ballard Sports Media needs to rebuild in College Football 25? Now, I have some rules, and then I came up with 4 teams that I would rebuild, and there's a lot of them out there. I can think of a couple others, but I wrote down 4 that came to my head last night as I was putting this show together that stood out to me. And I guess I have legitimate reasons for these teams, but there's a ton of teams that you could rebuild that maybe I should have wrote down, but I did not write down. Um, there's a lot of teams. but there's rules that go along with it. You don't just rebuild like, you're not gonna rebuild Alabama, okay? Nick Saban retired, and that's it. We don't know what Kalen DeBoer is gonna do. We can only guess, we can only assume. Maybe they go below 500, we don't know. Maybe they fall off with Kalen DeBoer, and down the road, you might have to rebuild Alabama. We don't know, but there are programs today that you look at and you say, "If I had the choice, if I had the opportunity, if I could do this, I would fix your program. I would fix your program." There's a few programs out there. There are teams that are bad right now, but are they bad enough to say, are they in rebuild mode? Like, I look at the SEC. I look at Arkansas and Vanderbilt, and I say, "Yeah, those are teams you could rebuild." But I don't look at South Carolina and say that's a rebuild team. I mean, I think there's a difference between rebuilding and making a team better. And then I also think there's a point where you can do both. Because if you rebuild a team and if you're winning in this game, you're making them better. Think we all agree there? Okay. Glad we're on the same page. But at the same time, a team like South Carolina, for example, they're not complete trash. They're kind of trash. They're not completely. They're mid-tier right now. Well, I don't know if they're mid-tier. They were. I think they have fallen off a bit, but I don't think a team like that is at the point of, "Let's rebuild them." But if you stick to the SEC, Arkansas or Vanderbilt, I would. I would. Uh, I yeah, I put Vanderbilt, just one of the losingest? I know winningest is a word. One of the losing programs of the Southeastern Conference, the losing program of the Southeastern Conference. Here's the rules for by the way, here's the rules for rebuilding. If it were up to me, and maybe this applies to everybody, maybe I'm not the first person to say this, but here's the thing. This sticks out to me because we take teams that have been in the gutter forever. We take teams that have been in the gutter forever. If you wanna do that, call it building. Means to do again. So this is my first rule. They got to be bad now, but they have to have at one point been good. Not saying they had to win a national title, but if they were making bowl games like year in and year out, right? That's that's good. They have to have a rebuild team had to have success at one point, but they gotta suck today. Sorry to say it like that, that word kinda came out, but you get what I'm saying. They had to at one point have been bad, or they have to be bad now, they had to be good at one point. They are allowed, and it's probably encouraged, that they're below 500. They don't have to be, but they can be. But also, here's the challenge. They can't be your team. I am fortunate enough to have been raised an Alabama fan. Mike Shula, and then obviously Nick Saban. And Mike Shula, that was a trip to therapy for me. I don't know. We weren't too bad. I mean, it wasn't Alabama standards. It wasn't what Nick Saban made it to be or anything, obviously. But like, Bama's never. Listen, when's the last time Bama really had a losing season? The late '90s, early 2000s, maybe once. I don't know. I was fortunate enough to have been raised to love a winning program. Georgia fans. Enjoy it now. But even though you had not won since 1980 in a national championship up until 2021, that time period, did you really have many losing seasons? Did you have any at all? I really don't know. Because even Mark Rick, you say whatever you want to. He was a winner, built the program up pretty good, and got it in good shape for Kirby Smart. And then Kirby Smart has done what he's done. He took off. So, what programs would I rebuild? They don't have to be below 500, but they can be. I get a free pass here. If I'm giving myself a free pass, I would say UAB just because they're my future alma mater. I don't want to see them fail. Okay, now let's get into the weeds of this, the meat and potatoes. Nebraska. I would love to try to get them back to what they were in the late 80s, early 90s, all the way through the 90s. I say Nebraska. Nebraska is on the list. Big Red. I think Scott Frost broke them. Yes. Matt Rule, I think, is still that coach that knows what he's doing with a program, but I don't it's still not enough. That's one of my teams this year I said had to make a bowl game. When I previewed them, gotta make a bowl game, right? He went 5-7 last year. I expect them to take a step forward. They could make a bowl game, right? Uh, but when you look at Nebraska, again, it can be a team that's had success. Means to do again. Rebuild. Build them back again. Nebraska had success. They have a 600 plus winning percentage. Their all-time record is 917, 424, and 40. Their bowl record, 26 and 27. They have claimed 5 national championships from 1970 to 97. They claim 46 conference titles, 10 division titles. They have 3 Heisman winners. They have not had one since 2001 with Eric Crouch. And 54 consensus All-Americans. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. They're not good today. They just aren't. They they haven't made a ball game since they lost to 2016 Tennessee, the 2016 season, Music City Bowl. They won one in 2015. They lost in 2014. For the 2013 season, they won against Georgia. Interestingly enough, they played Georgia in a bowl game uh, back-to-back years. It's interesting. They lost to South Carolina one time back in 2012 for the 2011 season. Lost to Washington the year before or 2 years prior. Uh, this is a team known for making bowl games. Known for it. But being honest, it hasn't shown too good on paper. Recently, at least. Back in the day, Nebraska was the team to beat. They were the team. Alabama beat them twice in a bowl back in the 60s. I think one of those might have been a championship for Alabama. I'm not sure. Uh, they've lost to Stanford and Duke. That started their list of bowl games. They won 2 straight against Miami and then Auburn, 62 and 64. Um, so you've seen great success. You have seen bad success recently. Played in 53 bowl games, but they had 35 straight bowl games, which is a NCAA record from 1969 to 2003. Never missed a year. Always in a bowl game. But total record, 1 game shy of 500 of a bowl record for Nebraska, 26 and 27. Nebraska's on this list to rebuild. They were once good. Matt Rule's doing okay, but I'm telling you, man, some coaches out there like Scott Frost broke him. Scott Frost really broke him. He should have stayed at UCF when he had the chance, in my opinion. Iowa State comes in next, below 500, but did win conference titles back in 1911, 1912. Those are irrelevant today. They've never sniffed a national championship. Iowa State Cyclones, and rest in peace to our buddy Jeff Webster. I miss you, man. Every day I miss him because he used to come on here. We used to talk football all the time and everything. I'm not going to get emotional or anything. We'll move on past that. Love you. Love you, man. For his sake, I would rebuild the Cyclones. 5-13, though, all time in bowl games. That means they've made 18 bowl games in their history since the late 1800s or something, early 1900s. They won conference titles back in 1911 and 1912, but they have like the last time Iowa State won a conference, the Titanic was unsinkable and then it sunk. Yeah, that's been like 112 years. Never sniffed a natty. Dan McCarney coached 12 seasons one time. 12 seasons, but had a 39 win percentage, 56 and 85. Uh, Earl Bruce used to be a head coach there. May he rest in peace. He has passed. 3 straight 8-win seasons, but no bowl victories for Iowa State. He had lost the Peach Bowl in a Hall of Fame Classic. For our friend Jeff Webster, I would rebuild the Cyclones of Iowa State. For real, man, 'cause I shoot, he used to come on here all the time and talk 'em up. He used to all the time talk up Iowa State, man, about what they used to be, and he covered for the Des Moines Press or whoever. What's up, Octavian? Good to see you, buddy, in the comments on YouTube. Uh, yeah. Yeah, that was interesting, man. I missed you. Anyway, stop talking about the past. Talk about the past in football. Iowa State, your terrible all-time program. You were good a little bit with Matt Campbell. I think he's on a hot seat right now. I don't know what to expect going forward. He might be the coach to rebuild you a little bit, but Ballard thinks he can do better in NCAA 25. I would rebuild Iowa State. I would rebuild Iowa State. Lastly, again, I mentioned I came up with 4 teams if you count UAB, but I'm not gonna count them because I obviously wanna rebuild, like, my future alma mater. Stanford Cardinals, or Cardinal, that's one of the teams that doesn't end in S. Claims 2 national championships in 1926 and 1940. 15 conference titles, that's pretty good. Overall record of 665, 478, and 49. The problem? Well, they haven't made a bowl game since 2018 with David Shaw. Troy Taylor enters year 2 of coaching Stanford. Christian McCaffrey stands out as a Cardinal great. Others, 2 quarterbacks and a wide receiver that I think of. I think of John Elway and Andrew Luck and then Richard Sherman. Do they have anybody that's a great player today? I'm sure they got great offensive linemen and stuff, but nobody really stands out specifically. I would try to rebuild Stanford, um, going from the Pac-12. Where are they going? The ACC. Yeah, I think going forward, I do think that Troy Taylor could do some big things, but it's going to take a lot of rebuilding. I think you got to get recruiting up. I think that you got to utilize the portal, which they're doing okay at. But that's another team I would rebuild in college football 25. And then I'll throw in a bonus. We had talked the other day about Deion Sanders and the Buffaloes of Colorado. Great in the 90s, not good today, could be better this year. I expect that at least, but I still think you could consider that a rebuild team. Colorado would be a bonus team on my list. Uh Vanderbilt, I mentioned earlier, sticks out. Who else? That's all the teams that I wrote down. Mm, maybe rebuild the service academies, Army and Navy, especially Navy. Army's kind of had a little bit more success recently, but Navy's good too. They need some help. They need to rebuild and reload a little bit. That's my opinion, at least, of course. Not sure if it matters to you guys. You guys let me know. But if you're watching this back, who would you rebuild in NCAA 25? Who is a must? Who is that team? Not only do you say, I want to rebuild them, but you say, for their sake, for their fan base, for the program to stay alive, we can take them off life support in college football. Like they're a dying program, right? You say, we can heal them, we can fix them. Gosh, who is that team that you say we got to rebuild and reload them? Let me know in the comment section down below. I love you guys. Gosh, I got some stuff to clip today. Got some stuff to clip. I don't know what we're going to talk about Monday morning. Can I even do the show Monday morning? I probably can. I gotta be at work at 10. We end the show at 7, all times central talking. Um, yeah, I can do the show Monday, July 15th. I don't know what I'll talk about. I don't know yet. We'll take the weekend to decide that. I have a lake day with friends on Sunday, and it's gonna be amazing. Our friend Pigskin Pete would say, "That's amazing and fantastic." Yeah. I might recap the lake day if something crazy goes on. I might just talk about the fun we had on the lake. You need to do a slobs retreat. I have scheduled for next Thursday. So I usually go to my college group. I'm not gonna do that. Well, I don't know, we'll see. But I decided 6 PM Eastern because it works best with this guest. Jay Stevens show. He talks up Buckeyes football. I gotta get some insight from him on the Buckeyes for 2024. Talk about the Big Ten, talk about realignment a little bit. We'll get him on. I'm trying to set up some interviews with people, and the best way I do that is Twitter, just kinda messaging people, because why not? I don't know how else to do it. I don't wanna spend money or go through all these websites and services that say they can help find podcast guests. I don't wanna do that. Just meet people on Twitter, man, for real. A lot of big things coming to the channel. I'm gonna make this announcement. I know we talked a little bit about baseball today. I do love it, but if you noticed, I did not get into the weeds of baseball too much. I mentioned the teams that were above 500, and I said, "This is how I feel about them." I want to I feel led to share this with you guys. Ballard Sports Media started as a sports channel, but I had a conversation with my grandmother this week, coming out and just saying how I felt. I think it's clear this is a college football community. I think we all agreed there. I also think this is a college football channel. Not that we can't talk other sports. If you ever want to come on here and talk anything else, just let me know ahead of time. I'll try to do research on it and we'll talk it up. But I am a college football homer. I'm part of a college football community, and I think it's best to keep it a college football channel at the moment. A lot of stuff I need to do, a lot of praying I've been doing, and just different direction that I feel like the Lord's leading me in. Sportscasting is it. Football is it for me. College football. NFL, yeah. Ooh, sorry. Still waking up a little, I guess. NFL, it's out there for sure. I think it's just a football channel. I think it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're in a college football community anyway. But I think it's clear that I'm not the best at keeping up with baseball. We'll do March Madness, but throughout the season, like, it's relevant if you're good at it for college basketball and NBA. I'm not good at keeping tabs on all that throughout the year. If anything major comes up in it, like if someone like remember when Kobe Bryant passed and the helicopter crashed with his daughter? News like that, I will break on here for sure because it'll be all over the sports world, right? But going forward, it's college football and NFL. It's football. That's my number one sport. Always has been. Always will be. That's what I want to get into in my career is football. I'm passionate about football. I feel like that's how God wired me, that's how he made me. So going forward, that's what we're gonna talk about. I'm not saying we won't talk about other sports. By all means, if you have any takes, opinions, thoughts, just let me know ahead of time. Hit me up on Twitter at Ballard Sports. You can also I don't care if you're friends with me, some of you on. Um, if some of you out there are friends with me on Facebook, message me. I don't care. You know who I am. I know who you are. We're a family here at Ballard Sports Media, and I wanted to end the show letting you all know that. College football is here to stay, and so is Ballard Sports Media, also the NFL. But football going forward, officially stamp it, sealed, signed, sealed, and delivered is what I like to say. So we're going to keep the name. I'm gonna do some thinking, do some praying, soul searching and everything. We're gonna find ways to make this better. I really think so. I wanna upgrade my thumbnails and everything. I wanna put a little bit extra effort into this channel, and going forward, it'll be college football and NFL. So that's it. That's it. That's the story. Yeah. I think we'll still do Ballard Sports 360 though. We'll do Tidal Wave Talk this year. For the Alabama games. We'll do predictions and stuff. We'll do picks. By the way, the Unprofessional Sports Show is coming back with myself and TikTok Chess Hall. It is coming back. It will be on this channel. But I think we decided that we would pre-record and premiere just in case, because I know chess. I won't get too far into it, but it's there has been drama in the past on the show, um, and that's fine. It happens. But to avoid comment sections and everything on the show so that it goes smoothly, it's gonna be premiered and not live. Just wanted to let you guys know that. So, we're good, everything's good. I'm excited to bring that show back. Um, yeah, yeah, it's gonna be good. Unprofessional sports show. Unprofessionals trying to become professionals. It's coming back very soon. I just gotta work on the scheduling and figure out what day I wanna premiere it and what day we'll set to record with chess. So, Octavian Cador, what's going on, buddy? I love you, man. Bama gonna be all right. I think Florida gonna be all right too. I think Florida be all right. Um, you're a Gator fan. You probably have different opinions of Billy Napier and everything. I don't think Billy Napier is the guy for the job, but I don't think Florida's a dead program at a standstill or anything. I think really it just takes the right head coach. I think the recruiting's pretty good. I think the portal's good. They got a win on the field, but Florida, it's not Billy Napier. I'm sorry. It just isn't. It just isn't. Sorry. Maybe I don't know. Is Florida a rebuild team? Can you rebuild them? I don't know. I don't know, man. Dan Mullen couldn't recruit. Billy Napier can't coach. Jim McElwain was kind of mediocre. I mean, he got him to some SEC titles. He never won one, but I think he only made it like twice that I recall. Both times against Alabama. Florida really like Florida? Have they not been relevant since the Tebow days? Is that right? I don't know. I don't know. Ugh. I'm kidding, Octavian. I'm kidding. I love you, buddy. I love all you guys. We're gonna keep it going and rolling here at Ballard Sports Media. Anyway, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. This is a great show. We'll be back here with it on Monday morning for real. And I can't wait to see what happens this weekend in the world of college football. Maybe some commitments and everything. Um, yeah. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Is this official? Look at this. Let me share Twitter real quick. Look at this. Is this official gameplay right here for college football? I know guys like Bordeaux on YouTube. I know they got the game because they like, I don't know, they test these things out. This is Tubby Light bring NCAA back. He's only got 290 followers. This cannot be real, right? This looks good. I'm not going to deny it. Hold on, let me go back. But is this actual gameplay? It's supposed to be videos, but look at the scoreboard. This is Western Kentucky and Washington, Marshall, not Washington. If that's the scoreboard, I'm definitely buying the game. This looks dope. This looks amazing. Look at the graphics. Of course, these are loading and everything, trying to play. This is amazing. I'm gonna have to watch some videos later on of like simulation games or something. But we're 1 week away from the release of College Football 25. Awesome. I'd rebuild Marshall. What's this other game here? UCF and who? Who is this? Old Dominion. Okay. What are these other ones here? Uh, North Carolina, Minnesota. That's a good game. And Georgia, Virginia Tech at Lane Stadium. Look at this. Cool. Anyway, I love you guys. Y'all are the best. Let's get out of here, folks. As Chris Stewart said throughout basketball season for Alabama, let's get out of here. Anyway, we are going to get out of here. The sun has come up on Smith Lake, Alabama. It's beautiful out there, man. Enjoy it. We got to get that boat out. We probably will this Sunday. We got friends coming over to the lake. Gonna have a barbecue. Probably want to get my grandmother up because we got to do some shopping. I don't know. I'm taking initiative of this household now. She's gonna watch this back and jump on me. I don't know. This is like my house, boy. This is Nana's house. It is Nana's house. I live here rent free, so I appreciate that. Anyway, I love you guys. God bless you all. Jesus loves you. Keep your head up and all that good stuff, man. I'm excited for college football. Big things to come. Like I say, we're pretty much done with team previews. I'm not going to worry about that too much at the moment, but I do have good ideas for the season. Want to bring back college football flashbacks. Uh going to 2 games this year, probably make some vlogs. Going to USF and Auburn for Alabama. Both in Tuscaloosa this year, so I'm looking forward to that. Going with both parents to USF, and then going with just my mother to the Iron Bowl. I love you guys. Have a blessed Friday, and we'll see you next time. And if you watch this back, thank you so much. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. If you watch it on Facebook, leave a reaction. Let me know how you're feeling and everything like that. Subscribe on YouTube to Ballard Sports Media. Love you guys. See ya.